Welcome to our live LinkedIn Cash course. This is the standard course. This is actually the final webinar of the live LinkedIn course, the standard version. If you can hear me, just make sure you can hear me and everything's working okay. You can just type me a quick yes in your question box. That way I know that you should see my screen there and see the LinkedIn live course members area there. Okay, good. I see that. Okay, great, good. So this is the standard course, the final webinar of the standard course. We are going to have recordings of all these available. So if you miss one, or you know during this session something happens to your internet or something, you can always come back and watch the recordings of the standard version of the course. I see some folks on here too that are also part of the advanced course, which is good to see folks on. That's even though you have the advanced sessions that we're doing, there's a lot of fundamentals that you really need to know from this advanced course as well. Tonight at 7:30 p.m. we're going to have our final advanced course presentation. So if you're part of the advanced customers, make sure that you jump on there as well. You should have gotten an invite already for it. It might even actually be the same invite as your other one. I think it registers you for both if you register for one. Okay. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to talk about LinkedIn SEO today, and I know on the schedule we had slotted to talk about the lead funnel, but I incorporated that information into the rest of the course, and I talked about it so much I didn't really want to repeat myself. But one thing I did get a lot of requests for is LinkedIn SEO and ranking LinkedIn profiles and LinkedIn pages on Google, which is a really powerful strategy, especially if you have a good lead funnel set up and you've got a tested process that's working for you on LinkedIn. Then it's a no-brainer to try to also get traffic from Google search as well. LinkedIn has a tremendous amount of authority. It's a PR9. Their homepage is a page rank of 9, which you can see right here if you go on my screen here. Which is, I mean, 10 is the highest page rank you can get. The profile, a lot of profiles have page rank as well. There is a good amount of page rank being passed down to profiles, and so these profiles rank very well in Google, and we're going to talk about some strategies that are really unique to LinkedIn profiles as far as ranking, and I think this is really going to be enlightening for you. I've never heard anyone teach the things I'm going to teach in this session, so you're getting some information today that no one is talking about, and I don't even think any of my internet marketing colleagues are even doing or teaching. So you're ahead of the curve just by getting this information here in this session here. So LinkedIn profiles, which if you wonder what your profile is, when you go to your profile, I'm talking about this page right here. And let me just say really quick, if you have any questions during the session about the material I'm presenting, go ahead and post them. Aubrey's on here with me, as she usually is, organizing the questions, so she can take your questions, and then if it's something that needs to interrupt my presentation, something that's not clear, I can take a break and answer that. So you can just type your questions into your question box, and then after this session I'll open it up for questions, and I'll be focusing really in on just doing a Q&A. Okay, so when I talk about a LinkedIn profile, I'm talking about this highlighted URL right here that you see, and I can copy it and paste it into my browser, and you see what I'm talking about. So this is what Google sees when they spider the site, and you can actually, I'm going to talk about this in a second, but you can actually set your profile to show more or less information. This is the page that Google can access, and this page also gets a lot of page rank from other places in LinkedIn that I'm going to tell you about, some of which you can influence, and that's going to really help you out a lot. But this is what LinkedIn sees, and I'll show you how to customize this information. I mean, this is what Google sees when they visit your LinkedIn profile. And I'm going to show you how to customize this information and maximize it for Google ranking. But if you have your profile set up to sell, like I've been teaching you in earlier sessions, especially the session that I taught at the beginning, August 21st, optimizing your profile, getting massive targeted connections in the LinkedIn search algorithm. That right there is, if you follow my instructions in that August 21st session, when people come from a Google search and they hit your LinkedIn profile here, they're going to hit a sales generation machine, even though they might not even have a LinkedIn account. They might not be a LinkedIn member. They might not be your connection, but purely just from search. So that's what we're talking about today. There's a ton of traffic inside LinkedIn, but there is many, many times more traffic outside on Google. And so many people, the other advantage is many people are logged into LinkedIn all the time. And so if they search and they hit your profile off of Google, even though Google can't see, Google's going to only spider a limited amount of information that you give them, but someone logged into LinkedIn would see a lot more information. And so the nice thing about that is, if it's a lot of people stay logged into LinkedIn all the time, even if they're doing searches on Google and they're part of your target market, if they have a LinkedIn account, a lot of times people just stay logged in all the time. So that means when they hit your profile, they're going to see a lot more information. They're going to be able to interact with you, and they're going to be able to follow your LinkedIn sales funnel. This is also why, though, I recommend in this session that I told you about on August 21st, why I recommend using the publications section of your profile, because it allows you to send people off of LinkedIn and to send them onto the other areas where you have a sales funnel set up. And I gave you, in this video, I gave you the example of my own profile where I send people to a Facebook page, and then I get them to opt into my email list. And so if someone hits my profile off of Google search, they are immediately funneled into my sales funnel that's off of LinkedIn as well. So that way, even if they don't have a LinkedIn account, I'm still using my LinkedIn profile to sell them, even if they're not a LinkedIn member. So I'm going to show you how to rank in this session LinkedIn profiles all by themselves for your target phrases in Google. Now, this is the type of information that we discuss all the time in my SEO Cash Club. So I hope that everyone on here has taken advantage of the free trial. That free trial is still available to my SEO Cash Club here, and you can, as a purchaser, a customer of this LinkedIn course, you get a free 1-month trial to my SEO Cash Club, which other folks are in here paying monthly. They're on this forum, they're getting content every week, sometimes multiple times a week, and we're discussing SEO, and there's so many things in there. I'm going to cover just some of the methods that we talk about in there tonight, today, and I'm going to talk about some unique methods to LinkedIn, but there's so many more ranking methods and tactics and backlinking strategies in my SEO Cash Club that you could apply to your LinkedIn profile that I could never cover in an hour or two webinar. So I encourage everybody, I highly recommend everybody to take advantage of the SEO Cash Club free trial that comes here. If you didn't sign up for that when you bought, I encourage you to just send us an email at chadwarrior@gmail.com and let us know that you're interested in that free trial. Since the course is still going, you can still request that free trial. Even if you didn't sign up for it when you first bought, we can switch you over. So go ahead and just shoot that email off to us, and we can get your account switched over to a free trial. Okay, so about optimizing for Google search. Whoops, let me show you this. So you can see here Google has indexed 268 million pages on the LinkedIn.com site. And so you're going to have to optimize your profile here for on-page information for the keyword phrases that you're targeting. So this profile here, whoops, hold on. This profile right here is a where you want to optimize for your target keyword phrases. Okay, you want to the first thing that you want to do, well, let me just say a couple things. First of all, the title tag is really important in Google. And you can see up here in the upper left where it says Melvin Higgins and there's a bar and then it says LinkedIn. There's really no way that you can modify that title tag. So that puts you at a little bit of a disadvantage. I'm going to show you how we're going to get around that. So the title tag, you can see basically they take your name, LinkedIn takes your name and it puts it up there as the title. Some people I've seen, even some bigger name internet marketers, will fit keywords in here, like maybe make a keyword their middle name, like Melvin SEO Higgins. Like I'm so into SEO that it's actually my middle name or it's actually my nickname. So I've seen people get away with that. That is against LinkedIn's terms of service. So if you have a white hat account that you're interested in keeping, you have to have your real name as the name. So that limits your title tag. But we're still going to get the backlink power that I'm going to show you in a second is going to help that not to matter so much. Despite that, you can do a lot to optimize the on-page factors to help you rank. So I'm going to show you on this test profile how I would do that if I was starting up from scratch. So if you haven't done this, make sure that you're setting up your profile also for Google SEO. So what you do is you scroll up in the very top right, there's that little icon, it should be your photo. You're going to scroll down to privacy and settings, and it's going to make you sign in again. And then over here is where you can select what others see. Oops, not there. Your profile photo and visibility. Okay, so this shows your connections, your network, and everyone. You want everyone to see your photo. Make sure that's checked. That's going to help someone who hits your page to, make your profile more believable and more real. So make sure that says everyone. You're going to, well, I would keep all the other settings the same that I showed you, where it says show hide viewers of this profile, also view box. All that I showed you settings on all that. That stuff is all fine. But over here you want to click on edit your public profile, and what that's going to do is it's going to let you edit how you appear in the public search results. Now, in the earlier session, I talked about keeping this narrowed down to as little information as is necessary to sell. Okay, so we had unchecked a lot of things, a lot of these boxes over here on the lower right. But if you are keyword optimizing your profile for SEO, you might want to add a box, okay, maybe uncheck groups and check additional information and fill out. Now I haven't filled out that in this profile yet, but you can get your keywords in there. You can actually get your keywords in here, interested in. You can get your keywords in your headline there. All right. Now again, the headline is a big selling point, so you want to make sure, hopefully you've already optimized that for LinkedIn search, so you're going to be ahead of the game already. But if there are any keyword phrases that you want to rank for that maybe aren't getting much traffic on LinkedIn but are getting traffic from Google, you're going to want to put those into the headline area there. Current positions, I still think is not that relevant to sales, and so I would not even worry about current positions unless for your target market they're interested in your current positions. That tends to be pretty distracting in my mind. Unless you're trying to get a job, which most of the people on here aren't trying to get a job, they're trying to sell and promote their business. So you want to optimize, you want to get your keyword phrases in there. Now don't just repeat them over and over. Don't keyword stuff these sections. Obtain those keywords a few times and synonyms, and get some information in there that is about the keywords and the topic that you want to rank for, and that'll help Google know to rank your profile for those search keywords in their own search index. All right, now up here in the upper right, you can customize your public profile URL. Now, I believe I talked about this before, but I didn't talk about this from an SEO perspective. So you can click here, customize your public profile URL, and that's going to let you choose the URL that you want. Now remember, if you have a LinkedIn account that has been around for a while and maybe already is indexed, maybe already has some backlinks from some other places off of LinkedIn, you want to be careful with this because the current URL will no longer be valid. So I have not, this is a brand new account I set up just for testing and for teaching this course. So Melvin Higgins doesn't have, I have not edited this at all, and it's a brand new account. So it's kind of an ugly URL, Melvin-Higgins/7A/272/87A. You don't want that. You want your keyword phrases or your brand or what you're trying to rank for to be there in your custom URL. Within reason, okay? Within reason. Remember, keywords in the domain, and we talk about this a lot in the Cash Club now, keywords in your domain name or in your URL is something Google is increasingly using as a signal to help them look for spammy pages on the internet. So you want to be careful. Don't overdo it here. But if your brand contains keywords, make sure and get that in there. If you have a big phrase that you're trying to rank for in Google, make sure to get that in there. You could also have your name. You can pretty much pick whatever you want here. They let you choose whatever you want, and there's no real, you're not going to have any issues there putting your keywords in there or your brand. But you want to do it within reason. And Gina says, if we change the public URL to reflect keywords, will this turn our connections off by being too spammy, or will they not see this? They will see it, okay? They will see it. Let me do this. I'll show you what they'll see. So right now we've got so I did a search site : and this is the type of thing we talk about in the Cash Club all the time, site : linkedin.com/IN, and that's going to bring up in Google's index all of the profiles they have indexed. 5,210,000 profiles. It's probably even more than that. They don't show everything that they have, but you can see what they will see, what people searching Google will see. So your LinkedIn URL, your custom URL, does show here right below your title tag, which is going to be probably most likely is going to be your name. So, you need to think about that. I mean, when they're deciding whether or not to click on your profile from Google search, they are going to be looking at that. So you know your target market better than me, but if there's keywords in there, I don't think that's going to turn a lot of people off. If it's really a hard sell type of a phrase or something like that, that could turn people off possibly. You're going to know that better than me. You're going to know your target market better than me. But that's what they'll see. So, but yeah, as far as exact match keywords in the URL, and for those of you that don't know, what Gina's asking there is, if you have a main keyword phrase that you are targeting, we talk about an exact match keyword, and that means it's a keyword that is in quotes, that when you search for in quotes, or a keyword phrase, it's a keyword that gets a lot of traffic in Google, and it's a big target keyword that you are trying to rank for in Google. And we put it in quotes because that gives us the specific keyword phrase and not a broad. If without quotes, Google adds a lot to it, and they rank for a lot. They rank a lot of pages for keywords that are not in quotes. They go a lot more broad with it. So keyword phrase is kind of in quotes is the exact match. It's kind of the most specific you can get. So yeah, I would be careful with that, Gina. If you're going to do a backlinking campaign and you're going to create a bunch of backlinks pointing to your LinkedIn URL that have the keyword phrase in the anchor text, the exact keyword phrase, you could possibly, now I've never heard of this, but it's possible that you could get hit with some kind of a penguin slap or something like that. So you wanna be careful with that, with exact match. If you don't put your keyword phrase in the anchor text, you're probably okay, as long as the text on your profile is not over optimized, like you didn't overdo it and keyword stuff and keyword spam this profile here that Google sees. Remember, when Google's looking to get a page and spank it, when I say spank, I mean they're knocking it out of their top results so it doesn't get any traffic. They're looking for a combination of factors. So you can think they have like a list of factors, and almost like a virtual, their computer, their server is almost like checking off boxes. And so this is, I'm grossly oversimplifying here, but if you think about it this way, it helps you to understand. They have a list of factors. So is the keyword in the URL? Is the keyword more than 20 times listed in the text on the page? Does the page have tons of spammy links? Does the page have tons of spammy links with the keyword phrase as the blue underlined link text? And then it's checking off, and it's sort of like if they have 5 out of 10, you're in the yellow zone, 8 out of 10, you're in the red zone, or something like that, you know. So it's not like any one factor can get you in trouble, but a combination of these factors can. So, Gina, to answer your question, you need to be careful with with just overdoing it, with over spamming, over keyword stuffing. You do want to have your keywords in there in a natural way that if someone read it, it would make sense, but you don't want to overdo it. And I've seen people do that with their LinkedIn profiles. That used to work, doesn't work anymore. So, but yeah, I don't want to scare people here. I think if people are just naturally putting their keyword phrases in their text on the page. The reason why I'm saying this to Gina is because I know she's an SEO person, so I know how far Gina could take things. I know she knows what she's doing, and so that's why I'm saying, Gina, be careful, don't overdo it. But if you're not a real SEO person, you don't have to worry. All you have to do is just put the keyword phrase a couple of times in your text on the page, and then you're going to put your keyword phrase in your custom URL if you want, or if you have a brand, you can put your brand in there as well, and you should be fine. All right, so like I said before, hopefully you've already optimized your profile, your online profile here so let's get done with this. I'm not going to do this now, but we're going to go over here to profile, edit profile. So over here, just to be more clear, over here on the right is where we specified which sections we wanted to show. But that doesn't necessarily mean those sections have content. So if you checked additional information and then maybe you unchecked groups, you're going to need to go over here. After you check that box, you're going to need to go over to profile, edit profile, and you're going to have to go to the additional information box to make sure and fill it out. See down here, additional info. Now that you're showing the additional info box, you need to add some interests, personal details, advice for contacting Melvin, and those are all areas where you could naturally, in a natural English sentence, put your keyword phrases, and that's going to help you rank. Okay, now one of the best opportunities that I've seen for backlinking on LinkedIn is the internal backlinking that you can do on LinkedIn itself. So if you know anything about SEO, you know that ranking on Google is all about getting a lot of links. And I'm oversimplifying, obviously, but getting links pointing to, so let's say I'm Melvin Higgins and I want this highlighted URL right here at the top to show up high in Google. I need to show Google that it belongs high by getting a good high quality, high powered, and a lot of links pointing to that URL, and that's what tells Google to rank them. You know, I'm oversimplifying here, but the really cool thing is there are opportunities to get links to this page right here inside LinkedIn itself. Inside LinkedIn. So, and I'll show you what I mean. One of the biggest opportunities right now for getting backlinks pointing to your LinkedIn profile is recommendations on popular products on LinkedIn, pages that have PageRank, and I'll show you right here. Now, if you're new to SEO and you need any clarification, please post it in the question box. I can stop and explain any of these concepts because some of these folks I see that I know they're part of my SEO Cash Club. They understand what I'm talking about, but some folks might not be SEO people, so feel free to ask. But PageRank, down here at the bottom right, you can see this is a PageRank 3 page, and that is a general number that Google gives each page that tells me how important that page is. The top you could get would be 10. Now, if you have a bunch of links from PR3 pages, you could actually end up with a PR4 on your own page. So they sort of add up. They kind of exponentially add up, actually. And so getting links pointing to your LinkedIn profile page, this one right here that Google's going to index, is how you're going to get that to rank high. One of the big ways to get links pointing to that page is recommending products. Now this is something, so don't share this stuff, folks, because this is something hardly anyone knows about right now. But if you go to any company page, so right now I'm on the AT&T page, but you could actually do a search in LinkedIn for, and I'll show you right now, a search in Google for site : linkedin.com/company, and it's going to bring up all the company pages that Google has indexed. Now, if you use a little plugin that I've talked about a lot, down here in the lower right, you can see I've got the SEOquake plugin. If I click on that plugin, it turns into color. If I click on it again, it's grayed out. If the plugin is in color, that means it's gonna show me the special toolbar that they have, and you can just go to SEOquake.com and you can install that plugin if you have Firefox. But what we're going to do is then we're going to hit refresh, and you'll watch the little SEOquake toolbar is going to pop up. See that? When that pops up, I can click on this Request Parameters button, and what that's going to do is it's going to go down all of these results. All of these pages here that you see that Google has are all company pages. And you can, and this SEOquake toolbar, and if you have Scrapebox, you also know how you could do this a lot faster. But if you don't have Scrapebox, you can do this with SEOquake. And you scroll down, and this little number right here will fill in. They'll fill in this number on each page, this little PR number, and that'll give you the page rank of all these pages. And you can pick out then company pages that have page rank, and then you can click on their product and services link. They all have a product and services link right here. And if you scroll down on the product and services pages, it allows you to recommend that product. And if you do, it's just like basically like a little blog comment. If you recommend that product, you get your username becomes a backlink back to your profile on LinkedIn. Now, if you're logged into LinkedIn, the URL is a little bit messed up. It's not the same one. But if you're logged out of LinkedIn, it's going to be just this URL right here that I've highlighted up here at the top, which is the one that you want the link to point to. So very, very powerful technique. All you have to do is post a comment and you will automatically get a backlink. Do you see how powerful this is? This is the AT&T company page on LinkedIn. It's got now the home page has a page rank of 3. The products and services page has a page rank of 3. This is so powerful, folks. You can get a backlink from this page to your LinkedIn profile. And actually, now that oh no, I see. So this is the product and services page that lists all the products that you can recommend. If you scroll down, and then you can click on any of these. Click on some that have page rank. And if I click on this one's unranked. So you're going to have to go through and find the ones that have page rank. That's why I picked this one at the top. Are you eligible for wireless discounts from AT&T? Because it's a page rank of 3. And you can just go through and recommend all this stuff. Just a little quick comment, and you have built in for you a backlink pointing back to your LinkedIn profile. See right here, this is the recommend button. I'm going to click recommend. I'm logged into LinkedIn. That's right, Graham. I'm logged into LinkedIn. Okay, I'll answer that in a second. But yeah, I'm logged into LinkedIn, and I just awesome product. I click comment. And sometimes you have to hit refresh. Oops, let me try that again. Products. There it is. There's my link. So yeah, Graham, you have to be logged into your LinkedIn account when you add the product recommend comment. You have to be logged in, and as long as you're logged in, then the backlink will be to whatever profile you're logged in under if you have more than one. Most people on here will have just one profile, one LinkedIn account. If you're logged into your LinkedIn account, that's where the backlink will point. So right now, this backlink here that I just got from this PageRank 3 page is to my profile here, which isn't well optimized, obviously, because it's brand new, but this is going to help this to rank in Google. Let me show you. And Larissa asked, okay, so let me take a backtrack here because there were a couple questions about this. There's a personal profile and a group page on LinkedIn. Is there a LinkedIn fan page like on Facebook? No, actually the LinkedIn company pages are similar to Facebook's fan pages. They're real similar. To tell you the truth, I have not found that much benefit to a LinkedIn company page. All right, the company page is similar to a Facebook fan page, but they're not really that awesome. Now, maybe they'll add some features to make them more valuable, but at this point, the main reason why you'd want to be doing it is more just a branding decision, because say if you have a personal LinkedIn page and you want also to have a page for a separate entity that is your business, you can do it, but it's limited. You can't have connections. You can post updates on the page, but you can't message everybody at once like you can in a group. It's really limited in its networking capability. So all it's really useful for is if you can get people to follow it, then when you update your company page, it'll show up in their LinkedIn news feed. But in my personal opinion, I think the LinkedIn newsfeed is a lot less useful than the Facebook newsfeed. People are on their Facebook newsfeed every single day. They log in, they check their newsfeed. They want to see what all their friends are doing. The LinkedIn newsfeed is a lot less useful. Maybe some people, I know I've been contacted by some people that say, hey, you're showing up in my newsfeed all the time. But most people are going on LinkedIn doing one-on-one connecting. They're making connections. They're looking at others' profiles. It's not quite as useful of a feature in my mind. And so if you want to have a company page just to get some additional reach, you can. But your time at this point might be better spent elsewhere. So if you have a company that's separate, a separate brand from your own name, just go ahead and set one up. Maybe in the future they'll make it more useful. But I don't focus a lot in this course just because it's not that useful for messaging and contacting your prospects, unless your prospects are all on LinkedIn using their news feed. So what I mean by news feed is when you log into LinkedIn, you click on the home button, it brings up this news feed here. See down here? And this news feed shows all of your connections, what they're up to. Have they added a new photo? Have they got a new job position? Have they posted a new article? But I've just found people not using that quite as much. So you know your target market better than me. I know I keep saying that, but if you know that they're on their news feed, then it's probably useful for you to create a company page and update that so that you can have that additional exposure to them. But for us, these company pages are useful because we can get a backlink from them to our profile that we are working on ranking in Google search results. All right. Here is a footprint. I'm going to send this out to everybody. Now, what a footprint is a search query that you can do in Google that will bring up a specific type of page. Let me send this out to everybody here. Just type it into the box here. So you want to use that footprint there. What that's going to do is, let me put this in. What that's going to do is bring up the company pages, but not just a company page. It's going to bring up actually the specific page that you could post your recommendation on. So the general company page, of course, those are going to have backlink. Those are going to have page rank. I mean, AT&T's company page is going to have backlinks. I mean, it's going to have a lot of backlinks to it. It's going to have a lot of authority to it. It's going to have page rank, and it's going to be ranking in Google. But on the home page of their company page, the AT&T's over here in the lower right, you can see is a page rank of 6 if you look down in the lower right of my screen. But there's no place to get a backlink. Now, you might say, oh, look, if I click like, I'll get a backlink. But that's not so, because if you look down the bottom of my screen, this actually, when you're logged out of LinkedIn, all these names disappear, and this link stops being a useful link to your profile. So this isn't really a place where you could still do social activity here on a company homepage, but for some reason the backlinks are crippled and they're not useful for ranking you. Now over on the products and services page, for some reason these recommendations backlinks are the exact format that you need, and they're pointing right to your profile and they're useful for you. So doing this specific search that I show you here in Google is going to bring up all those pages, and you can see there's 2 million of them indexed in Google, 2.5 million company pages, company product pages here, because we're doing in URL product $TRK. So it's going to bring up the actual product pages. And then you could also put your keyword phrase in there if you want. Dentist. So then we're going to bring up all of the company pages, the products on the company pages that have something to do with dentist or dentistry. That would be like if you were targeting dentists and you wanted if you're targeting dentist type keywords and you wanted the pages linking to your profile to be dentist related, then you could put a keyword phrase in there. You could also just go just straight for the page rank and do that as well. That'll still be useful. So that's the one. Let me answer a couple questions on that here. Just to clarify, you're saying you should not be logged into your LinkedIn account when you add the product recommend. No, you should be logged into your LinkedIn account. If you're not logged into your LinkedIn account, you won't be able to add the product recommendation. So you have to be logged in for LinkedIn to allow you to recommend. That little recommend button won't even appear if you're not logged in. The reason why it shows for me is because I'm currently logged into LinkedIn. I'll show you right now the recommend button. You just click on that button and that's what will let you, oh, you know, I must have already recommended this page. I can't remember which ones I recommended, which ones I haven't. But there's a little button right above this, 5 people recommended this, where you can you can click recommend. So you have to be logged in for that. But what I'm saying is when you log out of LinkedIn and see what Google sees, then you'll see how the backlinks work. It looks a little different when you're logged in, but the way Google sees it, the backlinks will point juice back to your LinkedIn profile. Does the link have to be in your target market, or can it be any niche? It can be any niche. It is helpful. What I would do is first do this search to identify the LinkedIn product pages in your niche that you can recommend, get backlinks that way. And then once you run out, so for instance, I did dentistry, you know, there were only 31 results. And so once I run out of those, then I could go and just go for really, really high page rank ones, whatever niche they're in. But it's always best to have backlinks that are in your niche. I have never, let me see here. Oh, can you get a backlink to an outside website? Yes, you can. We're going to talk about that a little later, backlinking from other websites other than LinkedIn. It's just that there's so many great LinkedIn linking opportunities within LinkedIn that I want to cover those first. Will LinkedIn ban us for too many recommendations? Great question. I have never heard of this, but also I haven't personally gone out there and gotten like 5,000, you know, done like 5,000 recommendations. I would say here, be natural with it. Okay, make sure do a natural number of recommendations. You know, I don't know of anyone else doing this, so I doubt they have any filters in place at this point. That's one of the advantages of LinkedIn right now, is it's just people haven't taken advantage of them like other social sites, but it's possible they would in the future. So tell you what though, Gina, if you're thinking of pushing that limit, what I would do is do it with a test profile. Outsource the whole thing. Tell them, I want you to set up a profile. I want you to use this specific footprint in Google. I want you to find all of the LinkedIn accounts with PageRank, and I want you to I want you to recommend 1,000 of them. And just see what happens to that LinkedIn account. See if somehow it gets in trouble or something. That's what I would do, but I haven't personally pushed that to the limit. I don't get the search query, the last part. What is that for? And are these 2 separate queries or all one? This is just one search query. Actually, somehow I got site colon removed from there. I'll show you what this second part is for, this in URL product colon TRK. So this is like Google programming language. And basically what it's saying is, I want you to search, so site colon, this is just one query. It all goes to Google together, and their server interprets the whole thing to deliver certain types of results. So what this is telling Google is the search results that I want you to give me. I want you to give me all the pages on LinkedIn, but not just the pages on LinkedIn. I want you to also give me the pages that have LinkedIn /company, because we're only interested in company pages, not all pages. There's millions of pages on LinkedIn, but we're only interested in the company pages. And then we're saying, out of those company pages, I only want company pages that have this in the URL, product ? TRK equals. And that's because up here, if you look, all the product pages that you could recommend, like we'll go to this AT&T 4G LTE, all the product pages that you could recommend have this in them, product TRK equals. So if you tell Google, I only want you to show me pages that have product TRK equals, then that will make your search results a little more focused, and you won't end up with all kinds of pages in there. You're gonna, it can waste you a lot of time if Google gives you 5 million pages and you have to weed through them all just to find one page to click recommend on. So that's why we have that specific in URL product ? That reduces it just to pages where you could actually click that recommend button. Valerie, let me know if that makes it clear. Okay, does recommend products show up on your profile page? Is it turned off with the profile setup? If you have chosen to show your, so I'm going to go into privacy settings, and down here, oops, he's making me sign in here, and down here it's telling me see who can see your activity feed right here. Your product recommendations probably will show up in your activity feed. So whatever you have said here, and I told people make it only you, but most people are going to see your activity feed when they click on home. So your activity feed might not show up on your profile, but it will show up in other people's activity feeds, kind of like Facebook. So if you go and do 5,000 recommendations in a day, you're going to have a lot of followers that are going to see that when they click the home. They won't see it when they go to your profile, but they will see it when they click on home, and when they look at their own updates feed here, they'll see like, wow, Melvin Higgins, he liked 500 things today. That's pretty crazy. You'll fill up their whole activity feed. So what is Scrapebox? Scrapebox is basically a tool where you can automate this. So right here, you would give Scrapebox this code right here, and it would go out there and scrape all of these 4,480 pages that we see here. It will put them in a spreadsheet for you, and it would tell you the page rank of each one. So for free, you could use SEO Quick and do the same thing. It's going to be slow, though. It's going to take probably 5-6 minutes to get you the page rank of all these 100 pages. With Scrapebox, in 5 minutes, you could get the page rank of all 4,000 pages, and you'd have it delivered to you in a nice, neat spreadsheet. Scrapebox does a lot of other things, too. We talk about Scrapebox a lot in my SEO Cash Club. You can get it by going to scrapebox.com / I think there's like I think if you do BHW, I think it's cheaper. It's like the Swiss Army knife of SEO. I'll send this out to everybody. It's cheaper if you go to that specific link. I think it reduces the price by like 20 bucks or something. Let's see. Yeah, so 57 bucks. I'm not an affiliate for Scrapebox or anything. That's not my affiliate link. But it is a really, really powerful piece of software that if you're doing SEO, I recommend people get. It does all types of things, but a lot of what it does is scraping search results like this, giving you page rank values for them. It also has a proxy scraper. It can scrape thousands of free proxies for you in a few minutes. It does all kinds of SEO things. Does recommend products show up on your profile page? Is this turned off with the profile setup? So I just answered that. It won't show up on your profile page unless you have that option checked to show your activity feed on your profile. That's the only reason when it would show up on your profile page. If we don't have an ebook webinar or similar to the pub or similar publication in the publication section, how would you suggest using it? In the publication section, what I would recommend that you do is I would recommend that you just don't even worry about if it's a publication or not. Just whip up a free report. It's so easy to do. I mean, you could just go out there, pull together like 10 Qzx9 articles pages, and just make that your book that you have officially published. Let that be your publication. I mean, it's as easy as that. Let me show you mine. So this is my profile, and this is actually the indexed version because I want to show you what it looks like when you're not logged into LinkedIn. But if you scroll down here, I've got this free course, How to Get 5,000 Visitors per Week from Wikipedia. You don't have to have like a 5-part video course. This is free software. You know, I have a staff, you know, I have programmers, I've got all this stuff, but you don't need to go that far. I mean, you could just go to Qzx9 articles and type in your search for your top topic. These are freely they allow you to reprint every article on Qzx9 articles, and you could just put each one together. Just make sure to follow their rules. Make sure to put like the who wrote it and stuff in there. Put these together into a 10-page PDF file, and that can be your publication that you put right here in your LinkedIn profile. And then you would just say here, free ebook, 10 mistakes people make when getting cosmetic surgery. Then you have these bullets here, and all they do is they opt into your list and they get that free ebook. You could even create a little Facebook page like I have here. We have a free tool that we have, and if you didn't get that in the other webinar, just shoot me an email. I can send you a link to it. We have a free tool we can give you that can create a little Facebook opt-in page like this for you, and then everything will be done for you. And once they click like, they'll like your Facebook fan page, and they'll get your free PDF that you made. So I mean, it's as easy as that. You don't have to get bogged down with creating software and webinars and all that kind of stuff too. Awesome. SEO Quake has a plugin for Chrome too. I'm gonna have to get that. I don't have it installed on my Chrome. That's where you put a video as well on the LinkedIn profile. Yeah, if you're offering a free video, I will put it right here as well in publications. Free video. 10 mistakes people make when getting plastic surgery. Click here. You might want to put click here so they know it's a link. And then even if someone's not logged into LinkedIn, they're going to click on that link. They're going to go to your Facebook fan page or your opt-in form or whatever it is, and they're going to fill in their information to get your free video. Then you deliver that video to them after they give you their information. If you put an article on this page, I have not tested out to see if it'll show. I don't think they allow it to show in the public profile. It's possible that it will, but that's something I haven't tested out. That's a brand new feature, like just came out, so I haven't tested all the limits of what you can do with videos on your profile. All right, so I think that's all the questions. Let me go to the next technique, because I have a few more about ranking your LinkedIn profile here. Okay, the next thing that you want to do is you want to comment in the developer forum. Actually, let me give you a quick one here. This is just a real simple one. This one's already done for you, but you want to make sure that your profile is in the directory. Okay, so let me show you the directory. I'll send this out to everybody so you can see. The directory that I'm in is the Chad Kimball directory. Okay, and actually, let me show you what this looks like when you're not logged into LinkedIn. Here, hold on. Let me get into another browser so I can show you this. Hold on. Let me just sign out here just a sec. All right, that's more like it. There we go. So now, what you're seeing here is a public directory page of all the Chad Kimballs. And this public directory page actually has PageRank in its own right. So you just want to, whatever your name, it's usually, I mean, you can just scroll to it. If you just go to pub/dir, oops, hold on. If you just go to /pub, that'll take you to the directory. They're giving me errors here. Oh, here it is, right down here. And just your first name is where you want to go. So my first name starts with C, so I'm going to click on that. That's at the very bottom of all LinkedIn pages. Then I'm going to go down here. We've got Chad Sig. Oh, here we go. Cesare Bray to Chad Siggers. So I would be in between those two names. I'm going to click on that. Then I'm going to go down and look for my name and just make sure that I'm in there. You might want to throw some cheap backlinks to that page if Google has not indexed it yet. And the way you can tell is just by going into Google and typing in the exact URL of the page you should be found in. So I just copied and pasted that into Google and I did a search for it. You can see Google has indexed that page. And I'm going to click this little down arrow. I'm going to click Cached. See that? And I'm going to look at the date up here. And that shows me the last time Google came and visited this page and took a record of it. So what that's going to tell me, and then I'm going to look and see, am I on this page? I should be. I want to make sure I'm on there. If I'm not, that means I need to try to get Google to come back to visit the page. Look, it's the end of August already. They last time they were at this page was August 9th. And so I want to make sure they've indexed that page. That's going to be some free PageRank for you because it's a link straight back to your profile on that page. So that's not something really there's any much for you to do. It is something for you to double check and make sure you're on that page because that's a free link you should be getting and you want Google to know about it. If Google hasn't visited the page in a while and your name's not on the page according to Google, then you're not getting that credit, that link credit. So all right. What is the URL for the Facebook Squeeze page? I actually don't know it offhand, so you're going to have to send a message to us. We had sent it out to everybody that was on the live session where we talked about this, and you get it for free, but I don't know the URL. So if you email us at chadwarrior@gmail.com, you can get that. Aubrey, if you know the link to that, you could just send it out to everybody. I don't know exactly what it is because Seth set up that tool. So we've got make sure your name is listed in the directory. That's the first thing. Get recommendations on popular products. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to comment in the developer forum. All right, now this is something you got to be careful of. These folks are not fools. All right, so if you're spamming the developer forum, you're not going to get away with it. But let's just to show you the potential here, and I'll send everybody the link to the developer forum. This is the developer forum. So basically what this is the forum that everybody who's creating tools for LinkedIn, they're developing software for LinkedIn, they're integrating with LinkedIn somehow, they're creating plugins for their website. That's where all these folks are hanging out and asking questions, okay? But the nice thing about the developer forum is it has a lot of PageRank. Check out the lower right. This developer forum here has a PageRank of 7. You can comment in this forum if you have a LinkedIn account, and you will get a link back to your profile. See these folks right here? Look at this person right here. Kamyar Mohagar. He posted in the developer forum November 8th, 2002. And this underlined blue text of his name is a link back to his LinkedIn page. He has had that link sitting here on the home page of the developer forum since November 8th, 2012. Very powerful, okay? So nearly a year he's had this PageRank 7 backlink, free PageRank 7 backlink. And all you have to do is join in the discussion. If you don't know what you're doing, if you aren't very technically minded, you might want to just post a question. And if you don't even know how to post an intelligent question, outsource it. Go on freelancer.com and get someone to say, I need you to write out for me 10 intelligent sounding questions that I can post in the LinkedIn developer forum. All right. People will be able to do this so quickly. There's so many developers on freelancer.com. People will be able to do this for you, no problem. And there you'll have 5 high page rank backlinks pointing to your profile. You better believe a PR7 backlink pointing to your profile, that is going to do you a lot of good ranking in Google. Let me show you. Here's the main page of the developer forum. Let me send this out to everybody. Oops, sorry. Accidentally put forums. It's just forum, sorry. So now some of these, there's a lot more of activity here. So you can see on the home page of the developer forum, you've got all these comments were made in today. But if you go in and just scroll around and look for opportunities, look for topics that have PageRank in their own right, and post a question in those topics. Follow button. Let's go in here. Actually, it's going to be brand new. All the brand new threads aren't going to have PageRank, so you're going to have to go back a ways into the forum to find threads that actually have PageRank. So here we have one. Access denied when clicking the sign in button plugin. So this is just someone saying, I'm getting an error when I try to use this. Okay. You could easily post a problem or a bug or a question or a technical question like this. This is a PageRank 5 page, all right, and it's sitting here since May 21st, 2011. All these folks on this page have had PageRank 5 backlink pointing back to their profile, and these pages are going to stay here. I mean, obviously this has been here since 2011. LinkedIn's not deleting old threads, and so there's a lot of PageRank to be had doing this. Now again, you can use a footprint for this, and what you can do is, let me show you. What you want to do is, you're only interested in threads, so what I would do is do something like this in Google. Site colon. I'll send this to everybody. Site colon developer.linkedin.com/thread. And when you do a search for that, what that's going to do is tell Google, I want you to give me all the pages that you have in your index that are on the developer forum. And then if you have Scrapebox, you can very easily scrape all 1,300 of these pages that are in there and see which ones have the most PageRank. If you want to go a little slower and do it for free, you could use the SEO Quake toolbar and do it, and then go and make comments in some of these threads. You could even see if you can get one that's on topic, although I doubt there's going to be one that has anything to do with dentistry. Yeah, so since these are developer forums, everything's going to be technical related, but still that PageRank is going to do your profile a lot of good. Again, they're not fools. These folks are not fools. These are really smart people in here. They know the internet. They understand about it. So make sure you're posting real questions. Make sure you're not spamming it. But a few well-placed, under 50 well-placed comments in this developer forum is going to get you a lot of PageRank pointing back to your profile. And the actual link is going to be on your is going to be your username here that shows up on the left. So here, Kristen Jones, she's got, well, let me take the HTTP. You got to take the HTTPS off to see the page rank. So this is only a page rank 1, so it might not really be worth it. But Kristen Jones, since May 27, 2011, when she posted this, she's had a page rank 1 link going back to her profile, just sitting out there, and it's going to be there probably forever, unless LinkedIn reorganizes their whole forum and deletes all these URLs for some reason. So you're going to have that page rank. Okay. Next strategy for backlinking your profile, internal backlinks on LinkedIn, is if you're willing to hack with your title a little bit. Now, this is going to be a marketing decision for you, but this little text right here that's directly under your names, directly under the name of all LinkedIn profiles, there's actually also a directory of titles. And those directory pages have a tremendous amount of page rank and authority as well that could be passed down to your profile. So you see here we've got Melvin Higgins owner. So let me show you I'll send this out to everybody too, the title directory. Let me send this out. So what you can do here is you can, and you see you have to, it's buried very deep in, but you can see the home page of the title directory is 9, page rank of 9. But as we go into it, you can see, let me get down. So we're down here. This is the title directory of everybody whose title is #1 operator. It's just in alphabetical order. So #1 operator all the way to 1A ! space 10 at the PM. I don't even know what that means. But anybody that has any, and these are all really weird titles, obviously, you can see. But anybody who has these titles is getting a link back to their profile from a really high page rank page. All right. Now, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to find title pages that don't have a lot of titles in here, because what you want to find is the pages that, let me show you this in my other browser here. You want to find the pages where there's no where there's between 5 and 21 profiles. The reason why is, I'll show you this. This is what Google sees. They're logged out of LinkedIn. They're going to go and they're going to spider this page, and you can see there's only 3 people that have 0481 landing support specialist as their title. And these are the type of profiles that you want, these are the type of profile pages that you want to be on. Some that don't, where there's not very many there, so you can get yours in there and get that page rank. And again, this is a page rank laden link pointing back to these folks' profiles, and that's going to help their profiles rank in Google. Now, the reason why, and so here's some footprints you can do. I'll demonstrate here. So what you're going to search for in Google to get to these pages is showing 5 of 20 profiles, site : linkedin.com/title. And what that's telling Google is, I want you to bring up all the pages on LinkedIn that are in the title directory. That's what site : linkedin.com/title means. And then when you put this in quotes here, showing 5 of 20 profiles, that's saying I only want title directory pages that have 20 profiles in them. And the reason why is then you're more likely to be able to get your profile on the home page here. See here, we got 5 of 21 profiles. If there's like 50, 60, 70 profiles that all have this title, it's very likely that yours is going to be buried way down on there, and you're not even going to show up on this top page. Okay, so that's why you need to find profile pages, directory pages that have page rank that look like this, but that don't have a lot of other people that have those profiles. Does that make sense? That way you're more likely to show up on this top page where there's page rank and not down here, because everybody past 21, everyone past these first 5 is just getting on these sub pages that don't have any page rank at all. You want to show up on the home page. Now, these do seem to be ranked according to connections. All right, so Daniela Amato has the most connections out of all 21 people that are finance officers at Monash University. Kira Z, she's the second. Sabir is the third. Albert is the fourth, and Noy is the fifth, ranked in order of how many connections they have. That's what it seems like they're doing. So, first of all, you need to make sure there's not that many people that have this title. And then second of all, you want to make sure that the page actually has page rank, so that page rank can show up. And there's some pretty high page rank pages here, you know, page rank 4, page rank 5, and imagine you're only on here with 5 other people, so you're getting a 1/5 of that. I mean, I'm overgeneralizing here, but you're getting around a 1/5 of that page rank pointed back. Everyone else is getting another 1/5. So you can hack with your title a little bit, though. If you find a page you want to show up on, show you here. Let me go back. Let me go back here to Chrome. See, look, finance officer. This has 500 people plus. Okay. 500 plus profiles have the title finance officer. So this would not be one that you'd want to be competing with. You know, you're dealing with these huge. This guy's a lion. That means he's a LinkedIn lion. He probably has probably has tens of thousands of connections. That's why he's up on top. But it's going to be hard to get yourself up here on top in these top 5. If there's 500 plus other profiles that you're competing with for the page. So what you're going to do to find the page you want to show up on, though, is you're going to go to the title directory, and you are going to let me just go there here. You're going to go to the title directory, and I would find a directory title page that has numbers or pound signs. See these people? They've got weird stuff in their title just at the very beginning of it, like number 1 operator. Okay, since they've put number 1 operator in their title, that's the kind of thing where you're going to end up on a page with not that many other people. Now, this specific one has 500 plus, but if you scroll around in here, you're going to see some opportunities. I mean, look at this guy. Look at these people. They've got 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 as their title. So you could easily get into this page. Now, there's 66 other people with this crazy title. But you could do this as well just to get yourself to show up on this page. Now, again, it's a marketing decision, so you have to, you have to think about what will it look like for someone to look at my profile and see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. But scroll around in here, especially in this weird one, this first one where people have numbers and pound signs and symbols in their profiles. You could find some opportunities in there. All you have to do is hack your title a little bit to show up in those pages. And I'm not going to do the looking for you, because otherwise I'm going to create tons of competition here. It's a limited number of people who have this course, though, and I've never, ever heard anyone else teach this. So probably only you who are watching this video are going to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. So it's not like you're going to be competing with everyone else on LinkedIn here, but you are going to be competing with each other for these weird pages. But that's a great, if you scroll through some of these pages here in front of you, you're going to see some great opportunities. All you have to do is hack your title a little bit to show up on that page, and you'll end up with a high page rank link pointing back to your profile. All right, let me see if any questions popped up there. Okay, no questions. Good. Was that pretty clear? I know for those of you that I'm really stretching your minds here, those of you that aren't into SEO, I know this is kind of going to be a mind bender for you, but this stuff works. This kind of backlinking, these backlinking loopholes can do tremendous things to rank your LinkedIn profile in Google. How high is the PR for the title pages? Yeah, I answered that. It's like it really depends, but I've seen high ones, 4, 5, page rank 4, page rank 5 for these title pages. So it's definitely worth doing a little hacking to your title to try to get in there if you're trying to rank your LinkedIn page. If we have creative titles, will they be in their own category? This site is helpful with titles. Yes, if you have creative titles, they could be in their own category if you're the only person with that title. Now, sometimes it seems like LinkedIn lumps people together. For instance, here, you've got these folks have 00000 as their title. This guy has this bar, which is like if you press Shift on a Windows machine, Shift, and then there's a button right under your backspace key that'll create that bar, and LinkedIn has lumped him in with, or I don't know who it is, but has lumped them in with the rest of these folks. So it's possible LinkedIn will lump you in. The thing you have to be careful with creative titles, you might be on a page all by yourself, but that page might not have page rank, and you won't know if it has page rank until you wait for the toolbar to update. So that's why it's a little less of a doable strategy, just because you don't really know what your page rank is going to be, and it's much easier, I think, to find an existing page where you can see the page rank, you know it has page rank, and then you know it's worth going through the effort to put, like, say down here, 1111111 in your title. Okay. Does Google see these backlinks as spammy, e.g. 0000000? I doubt they'll see them as spammy. I mean, it's only going to be one. It's going to be only one single high page rank link with 0000 in it. And remember, the backlink itself isn't going to have 000. So let's scroll in. What the backlink itself is going to be your name. So these people are on the 0000000 title page in the title directory, but the backlink isn't spammy. The backlink is just their name, and Google's going to see that. Google's not worried about that, so I wouldn't worry so much about that. Can we put in a few of the symbols and get double the PR? I believe that the title is, and I can confirm that, but I'm pretty sure the title is just one field. Let me go up here for edit. You go to profile and you go to edit profile, that's where you edit your title, and then right here you click where it says owner. For me, that's where I would click it to edit my title. Yeah, and so if I type it in, there's only one field for it, so if you put a bunch of stuff in there, LinkedIn is going to interpret that as one title. They're not going to interpret it as multiple titles. Steve, yeah, Aubrey answered you there, but yeah, there's going to be a recording, so you can watch the whole recording of this webinar if you missed some parts of it. No problem there. Okay, any other questions about the techniques I've shared so far? Okay, let me give you a couple of other things, and this is going to be more broad, but you can apply a lot of these same techniques that I showed you to your groups. So you can also rank your group pages, which also has a lot of value, especially if your groups are a big prospecting source for you. So imagine if you were the owner of the mastermind group for small business owners and you wanted small business owners to join your group, you could get them to join your group from the Google search results. All you have to do is get this page, this home page here, ranked in Google. And there's some opportunities that are similar to getting a group to rank. And the main thing, which is kind of obvious, is, and let me go to a group that I'm not in so that I can show you this. Go to groups. So part of the obvious thing, if you want to rank in Google, is that you want here this to contain the keywords you want to rank for, the title of your group. Now, in the groups sessions, I told you want to make sure that your title of your group is also your benefit. So you're going to have to do some creative work here to have it be a benefit and also have your keywords included if this is something you're trying to do. But LinkedIn's also going to take this title and put it up here in the upper left in your title tag. And this title tag up here is one of the big things that Google looks at to rank this page in their search results. So you want to have your keyword phrases in there if you can. You also want to optimize this text right here, okay? So that if someone is searching for these keyword phrases, that Google will spider this page, they'll have a record of it, and they'll say, oh, look, the keywords that so-and-so is searching for are all in this text here on this LinkedIn page. Let's give them this LinkedIn page. So that's just on-page optimization. Google can see this information right here, and so you want to put that information in there. Now, let me show you some of the backlinking opportunities here. The main powerful backlinking opportunity, internal backlinking opportunity for ranking groups in Google search results. That would mean that someone goes to Google, they type in your keyword phrase like SEO optimization or SEO service, and right up here on the top they see your LinkedIn group. That's what you would want to have happen. So one of the main ways to get high-powered backlinks, whoops, sorry, I got to unpause my screen there. One of the main ways to get high-powered backlinks pointing back is get people whose profiles have PageRank. So this profile page that you see right here, there are a lot of LinkedIn people. A lot of them don't even know that they have a good thing. They just accidentally got it, the PageRank. But if you can find people where this page right here, the page that Google sees, not the page that you see if you're logged into Google, but I mean if you're logged into LinkedIn, but the page that you see if you're logged out of LinkedIn, that's what Google sees. If this page right here has PageRank, you want to get those people to join your group. I'll show you why. Let me show you a good example of one. Search result here. So we're looking at a catch page. Okay, this means this is a page that is actually Google's record of this page. But if you scroll down, Ashley Rogers has chosen on her public page, so you don't even have to be logged into LinkedIn to see this, and if you scroll down, she's chosen to show her groups. Look down here. Ashley Rogers additional information, groups and associations, and she has all these groups that she's in, and you don't even have to be logged into LinkedIn to see the links to these groups, which also means Google can see these links. Now, if you can find some people like Ashley Rogers who have chosen to make their groups public to non-LinkedIn users, and their profile has PageRank, you can invite them personally to join your group to get that backlink. Does that make sense? And if Ashley Rogers has PageRank on her profile, Google's giving her PageRank, and she's linking to your group down here in her list of groups, you're getting a free link just by having her in your group. And LinkedIn's listing all the groups too. It's not just listing a few of them, it's listing all of them here on this public page. And this is actually the page that Google has a record of, a snapshot of, so they know about all these links. They're giving link juice to all the home pages of all these groups. All right, so here's how you can find these people. So it's a real specific criteria we're looking for. We're looking for people that have PageRank on their profile page, first of all, and we're looking for people that have chosen to show their groups to the public. In other words, they're not keeping their groups private. So this is the footprint that you want to do in Google, and I'll send this out to everybody. And when you do this footprint in Google, you do this search query in Google, this is what comes up. So I'll explain it. site:/linkedin.com/in. That's the URL of every profile. Every profile on LinkedIn starts with /in, and then it gets your specific name or whatever name you've chosen. So this is telling me, Google, I only want you to show me pages on LinkedIn that you have a record of that are profile pages. Then, in quotes, you're going to type the word groups and associations. And what that's going to tell Google is also, out of those people, out of those pages, those profile pages, I only want you to show me the pages you have a record of that have the phrase groups and associations on the page. And the reason why we did that is over here, groups and associations is the key phrase that identifies this section of information in a LinkedIn profile. So that means if they're listing their groups, the word groups and associations is going to be on their profile. So that's going to show that. That's going to show when you do this search in Google. Now, you can also add your keyword phrase here, and that'll help, because obviously you're going to invite these people to join your group, so you need them to actually have some reason to join the group, right? I mean, they're not going to join a group of dentists if they're a secretary for IBM. I mean, there's no reason for them to join. So you're also going to want to narrow this search down a little more with your keyword phrase, so that, let's just say I'm doing dentist. So this is going to show me profiles in Google, profiles that Google has a record of, that are showing their groups on their public page, and on their profile somewhere is the word dentist. And now we've got it narrowed down quite a bit to 54,000, so we got it. That's still a pretty huge number. But you see, look at all these people that are showing their groups, showing a list of the groups they're a member of, and Google has a record of it, and these are all backlinking opportunities for you to get to point to your group. Now, we also, though, we don't want to invite all 54,000 people. We only want to invite the people that actually have PageRank, because you're going to be inviting them one-on-one. You really want these people to join. You can think about each invite that you send to one of these people is a potential PR3, PR4 link to your group homepage to help it to rank. So we're also going to want to do, down here in the lower right, again, we're going to want to use our SEO Quake toolbar. See, I just clicked that link down in the lower right so that it would be activated. And then we're going to refresh the page, and now the SEO Quake toolbar is going to pop up. And now this will allow me, if I click this request parameters button here on the left, this will let me to get the page rank of every single profile page that has come up here. I'm not going to do it right now because for some reason my browser's crashing, so I want to be careful here. But then once you get all those page rank values, you can pick out the people that have PR3, PR4, invite them to join your group, and all of a sudden, boom, you've got a backlink back to your group homepage from their profile. And you've got a group member out of the deal too, a valuable prospect. Really, really powerful. Okay, so a couple questions. Do you think it's more important for the name of our group to be popular, a popular LinkedIn search term or a popular Google search term? Where would we probably get more prospects from? I would say hopefully they're the same. I would say most of the time people's search behavior on Google is going to be the same as their search behavior on LinkedIn. So probably you're not going to run into a situation where you have to pick. But I would say even if you have to have two different key phrases in your group name, I would try to fit them both in. So I know you said you want me to pick one, but I would say do both if you can. Now, if you got like 5 phrases and you're trying to pick between them, I would do maybe, if you're trying to do this strategy, I would start with the Google one. I would go with the Google one because most of your group growth is probably not going to come from search in LinkedIn. It's going to come from the other tactics that you're using. And so whereas there's a potential of a ton of traffic to come from Google if these keyword phrases have traffic. Some of this decision is going to be made based on your traffic numbers. I mean, if you know that a keyword phrase has a ton of traffic on Google and you think you could rank for it pretty easily, then you might want to really go for that Google search term and just ignore the LinkedIn search term totally. So it kind of depends on that. You can also use Scrapebox for this, and Scrapebox can very quickly, a good example of the type of things Scrapebox can do, could scrape all of these. You'd put this footprint or this little search query into the Scrapebox little box, and then Scrapebox is going to go out to all 54,000 of these and give you a CSV file containing them all and their page rank. So it can go really, really fast with Scrapebox. Okay, and one other tip with groups, which is a similar tip as I showed you with profiles, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but you can actually, there's actually a group directory pages as well. See this? I'll show you, and I'll send this out to everybody so they can start here. But this is an example of a group directory page that has a page rank of 6. So again, you can do a similar thing by kind of hacking your group title to get a page rank link coming back to your group homepage here. Now these are all, folks, the reason why I showed you this is because it's sort of a humorous example. These are all people whose group names start with join now to or join now to learn. And so you can see there's other folks doing this, not just you. Now, if you scroll through these groups, you'll see a lot of people, these aren't people that really know what they're doing on LinkedIn. They must have just heard this tip somewhere and went and tried it, but they don't have the rest of my strategies, so their groups are really tiny. But this is just an example of how you can hack your group name a little bit to try to get yourself into a group directory page that has page ranking. It's the same thing you would do as you would do with your profile. You just scroll in and scroll around until you can find a group directory page that, a group directory page that has the page rank you want. Like here's this one. If you could fit your group name in here somewhere in the PAC zone, you could get a free PR5 link pointing back to your group directory homepage. That's kind of similar to what I showed you with the profiles. Okay, now you're probably, let me say something about the group. I've seen out there now, just as I've been just observing this technique, there are a lot of groups out there that are not indexed in Google at all. So in other words, this group homepage here, let me just click on anybody's just to show you. So this group homepage here, there's a lot of folks where these group homepages are not indexed at all, in Google, or they just don't have any page rank or something like that. And that's because sometimes I think these don't have a lot of content, and so you're probably going to need to make sure there's a good amount of content. That's why I showed you that SEO group is a great example of the type of homepage you want to have, because it has a ton of content for Google to make Google want to actually index this page. So you're going to want to make sure yours looks like this. You want it to have a lot of content. You can put a lot of content in this box. Watch the 2 videos on groups to figure out how to do that. But you can put a lot of content in this box, and that will make Google more likely to index your page and to rank it, your group homepage. You're also probably going to need more than just a few internal backlinks to your group to get it to get page rank and to rank. Something about these group pages seems like they need a little extra oomph to really get that page rank, to get indexed, and to get ranked. But if you're trying to get Google traffic to your group, it's definitely worth it. It's like having an extra opt-in page out there for your keyword phrases to gather leads into. So it's definitely worth it. Do we need to put the keyword for people to find it in the search bar? If you're talking about the search bar up here, the keyword, you'll see as you do searches that when you do a search for keywords here, there are groups that show up sometimes that don't even have the keyword phrase in the title. So sometimes you could probably get away with it by just getting the keyword here in the subject. But just best practice, you want to get your keyword phrase here in the title for LinkedIn search. That's going to give you the best advantage. If you can fit it in, do it. Hopefully that's the same keyword you're also going for in Google. A lot of times it's going to be the same thing. But yeah, if you're having trouble making that choice and you're an advanced customer, we could do a free review for you. I can help you answer that question. Or if you're in the SEO Cash Club, you could ask that as well on a Q&A or something like that. Again, if you want to join the SEO Cash Club, you can still get your free trial. Okay, so and a couple other techniques that I would recommend for these. I'm going to send everybody to this YouTube video here. High PageRank authority blog comment links, I think, is really a really high quality skill technique that you can use to rank both a profile or a group. And so I want you all to watch that. It's a free video. It's about 40 minutes long, so it's a lot of detail in there about high PageRank blog comments, all the details of it. It's a natural way to do backlinking with especially with LinkedIn profiles, because usually when you do blog commenting, your name is the backlink, and so it's totally natural for someone to comment on a site and to have their LinkedIn profile as the site that they're putting in that they want the backlink for. There's nothing weird about that. There's nothing super promotional about that. It makes total sense. It's like, hey, I'm commenting on your blog. You want to identify more about me, go to my LinkedIn profile. So it's a great strategy for ranking your LinkedIn profiles. You could also do it with your groups. Also, similar high PageRank threads in a signature. Okay? And let me show you an example of a signature. So a signature is like this. We've got unknown user here. I'm on the Warrior Forum. A signature is this little thing under your forum post. If you have forums in your niche, a lot of times they will welcome a LinkedIn profile, a link to your LinkedIn profile as your signature, because forums all about being social. They want to know more about you. Sometimes they might even have a built-in spot for you to put your LinkedIn profile over here on the left. Now, Warrior Forum doesn't. They only have YouTube, Twitter, I think, and Facebook, not LinkedIn. But a lot of forums, depending on your niche, might have that built in. It's a totally legitimate strategy. It's not even seen as black hat or anything to link to your LinkedIn profile from your forum. You want to read the rules of the particular forum, but this is a very common thing, so it's a great way to get backlinks, and especially high page rank backlinks to your profile. And all you need to do is go on the forum in question, scroll around, and look for threads that actually have page rank, and then post in those threads with your LinkedIn profile as this little signature. So that's another way you can do it, or you could link to your LinkedIn group as well. Gina, another question here. Let's see. SEO group seems to really be spamming with tons of keywords. Is that a good practice? I would say for LinkedIn, it's still something that hasn't been done that much, so you're probably okay. I don't think LinkedIn is going to penalize you for that. For Google, though, if these folks are trying to rank in Google, you want to be careful. I mean, Google really frowns on this, just lists of keywords. Now, I know this could be construed to say, hey, this is a list of all the things that we talk about in this group, but it's pretty, they're on the edge here with this. This particular group is just so large. I mean, they've got 66,000 members. I don't think they have much to worry about at all. I mean, the viral nature of this and the momentum that it already has, I'm sure they're getting a large number of signups every day just from the viral momentum, which is why I push groups so much in my course. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend you go out there and spam your group homepage with keywords like this, keyword stuffing. Google's going to frown on it. LinkedIn's ignoring it. You know, it's just not that great of an idea. Okay, so I shared with you that YouTube video with the backlinking. There's a lot of other techniques for backlinking that I show you in the SEO Cash Club. If you really want to go for it with ranking these LinkedIn profiles in Google search and ranking your group in Google search, I really recommend you take advantage of the free trial of the SEO Cash Club. You can get 1 month free. You can get a lot of strategies. You could probably implement a ton of strategies just in your free month. You can cancel at any time. And if you need to switch you over to the free trial, just send us a Gmail at chadwarrior@gmail.com. And we usually don't offer a free trial at all of this. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that opportunity. And your free month starts when you ordered. So you would like a longer trial, yeah, you could ask the support staff about that, because you could say, hey, could you make my free trial start now? I don't want to promise something, then later they're going to yell at me and say, why'd you tell them we could do that? The system doesn't do that. But I'm pretty sure they could get you a full month from the day that you switch over, but I don't want to promise that without asking the support folks. Any other questions? Lots of marketers are trying to add me as a connection and get into my group. What is your thought on this? If they're your target market, then I would go for it. I mean, as far as adding you as a connection, that's okay, because we've talked about this. You know, your connections are a broader group of people. They're not necessarily focused that well, unless that's really a specific strategy you're implementing with your profile. Some people are really selective about their connections, but the strategy I teach is go ahead and just add as many people as you can. It broadens your network. It lets you see more people's profiles. It lets you be a second-degree connection with more and more people, which is really useful. And then narrow down your marketing in groups. But as far as adding you as a connection, I wouldn't worry about that. I would just add them. I mean, it's going to be helpful. But getting into your group, it really depends on what your group is about. If your group is your target market, and the marketers are not your target market, I would not let them in, because that's going to allow them to prospect to your group members. You've worked hard to build this group. You're trying to you're trying to use this group for your own business, and they're in there messaging people in your group. selling them their own services. And you can't see the people they're messaging. You can't see what they're doing in your group unless they do it on the main discussion board. So you don't know. I mean, they could be sending mass messages to your group members for all you know. So I wouldn't let your competition in to your group if you can identify them. Do we get alerted via email when someone creates a new post in our group? Yes, unless you specifically say you don't want this. The default option is that you will get an email when someone creates a new post. Any other questions? Okay, Graham asks, what time is the advanced webinar today and what time is it now? All these different time zones. Okay, I'll give you a little trick that I always do. Google is really good at time zones. So I always just pick the city where I know the person is, and I'll just type it in. What time is it in Chicago? Right now it's 4:15 p.m. in Chicago. 7:30 p.m. Chicago time is when the advanced webinar is. So yeah, definitely jump on there, Graham. I mean, I know I've seen you on, I think I've seen you on a couple of the other advanced sessions, but the more you hear this stuff, the better. Yeah, Graham, go ahead. Get a couple hours sleep. You got a few hours before we start, so get some snooze, get some shut eye, and then jump back on. Sorry about the time zones. I think, Graham, you're in Australia, right? Sydney or something? Oh, Graham's in the Philippines. Let's try Graham. Let's see what time it is for Graham. He's in, what time is it in um, Philippines? 5 a.m. Wow, so you got up early to watch this. Yeah, Google's awesome at time zones. I always just ask them what time it is because Google will just tell me. Okay, do we have a place we can find good examples of sales pages? Sure. Is this a LinkedIn? You mean like LinkedIn profiles? I gave you a few profiles that I thought were great examples of sales-oriented. Oh, for the opt-in form. Yeah, Gina, you know what? I could send some swipes over. I know you're an SEO Cash Club member, so go ahead and just ask that on the forum. I don't have a list in front of me, but I could totally post that if you post that in the forum. And we could even maybe get a whole thread going on it because other people I'm sure have great swipes that they've seen. You could look at mine too. I mean, I go for minimum 15% opt-in rate for my stuff, and a lot of times I get a lot higher, 40, 50% opt-in rate on my own forms. So if I'm marketing to you, you're probably getting my emails. You could check those out too. Link to the videos for the LinkedIn course. Yes, and I'll just send this to everybody. If you're a standard customer, actually I think it's the same login, Aubrey, tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the login. I just sent it to you for all the customers, and then if you're an advanced customer, it's going to look a little different once you log in. Aubrey, let me know if I'm wrong about that. Oh, Aubrey said she's not sure either. I believe if you log into that login that I just sent out to you, you will get all the videos. They're just right below the little welcome video there, and you'll get all the videos there. We still have to post today's, obviously. All right, any other questions? Good, well, I'm going to close up then. And again, if you're an SEO Cash Club member, you can ask any questions that you missed right there in the forum. And we have a special section for you as a LinkedIn Cash Club member, as a member of the LinkedIn course. Just email us if you want us to be switched over to that free trial. Any other questions or issues with the software that you have, feel free to shoot us an email at chadwarrior@gmail.com. We'll have the videos posted probably this afternoon, Aubrey says, for today's session, so you can watch that as well. And if you're an advanced customer, then I hope to see you on the advanced webinar tonight, 7:30 p.m. Chicago time. And again, you can just type into Google what time is it in Chicago, and that will give you the correct time, so you make sure to get the exact time that we start. The advanced training webinar is going to be, they've been running, I mean, they're different depending on the questions, because we do live questions and answers after I present my material. I present the same material each time, but the questions are always different. So we've had them that have gone 3 hours. I think tonight's will probably be a little shorter. It seems like at night, people maybe they're just a little bit more tired, so they're not asking as many questions. It's probably going to be minimum 2 hours, probably between 2 and 3 hours for the advanced webinar tonight. Okay. Any other questions, Aubrey, you could post for me there? I think we got them all. All right, great. I'm going to end this webinar now, and it's been great having you folks on here. I see a lot of advanced customers on here, so I'll probably see a lot of you tonight as well. Get out there, SEO optimize your profiles, and get those leads coming in. Talk to you later.